In the history of Silicon Valley, there is one rule: the winner takes all. Intel ruled the CPU market for decades. NVIDIA conquered the GPU world. For a long time, there was only one company crazy enough to fight a war on both fronts: Advanced Micro Devices, AMD. For years, they were the cheap alternative, the underdog. In 2015, their stock was trading at less than $2. Critics said they were finished. But today, we are looking at a different beast. We have analyzed AMD's financial filings from the critical turning point of 2020 through the explosive reports of late 2025. The numbers tell a story of one of the greatest corporate turnarounds in history. How did they grow from a $9 billion struggling chipmaker to a $25 billion AI powerhouse? How did they survive the collapse of the PC gaming market to rise as the only viable rival to NVIDIA? This is the financial story of AMD, the challenger. To understand the AMD of today, we must go back to 2020. The world was changing, and under CEO Dr. Lisa Su, AMD was executing a masterclass in engineering. In fiscal year 2020, AMD reported revenue of $9.76 billion, a massive 45% jump from the previous year. The driver was clear: the rise in processor. They weren't just cheaper than Intel anymore. For the first time in a decade, they were faster. But Dr. Su knew that consumer PCs weren't enough. The real money was in the data center. In 2020, they announced a bold, controversial move: the acquisition of Xilinx for $35 billion. Critics asked, why buy an FPGA company? The 2022 annual report gives the answer. By the end of 2022, after the merger closed, total revenue skyrocketed to $23.6 billion. The Xilinx acquisition created a new, embedded segment, generating $4.5 billion in 2022 alone. This wasn't just about revenue, it was about survival. It diversified them away from the volatile PC market and gave them the deep technology needed for the coming AI war. – 2023 and 2024 were the years of the Great Pivot. While the world was hyping AI, AMD had to weather a storm. The post-pandemic PC market crashed. Look at the 2024 10K filings. The gaming segment, once their crown jewel powering the PlayStation 5 and Xbox, began to collapse. Gaming revenue fell to $2.6 billion in 2024, a staggering drop from over $6 billion the year prior. If AMD were just a gaming company, they would have been destroyed, but they had already pivoted. In 2024, data center revenue nearly doubled, hitting $12.6 billion. Why? Because of the AMD Instinct MI300 accelerators. While everyone was waiting in line for NVIDIA chips, AMD offered a lifeline. The narrative shifted overnight. They were no longer the gaming company. They were now the AI infrastructure company. Now, let's look at the latest numbers from 2025. The transformation is complete. According to the third quarter 10Q filing for 2025, AMD generated $9.2 billion in revenue in just 3 months. To put that in perspective, they now make in 1 quarter what they used to make in an entire year back in 2020. The 9 months ended data shows total revenue reaching $24.4 billion by Q3 2025. The momentum is undeniable. But there is a specific detail in the 2025 filing that matters: acquisitions. In March 2025, they completed the acquisition of ZT Systems for roughly $3.4 billion in cash plus stock. This is a critical strategic move. By buying ZT Systems, AMD isn't just selling chips, They are helping hyperscalers like Microsoft and Meta build the entire server rack. They are trying to match NVIDIA's ability to sell a complete system, not just a component. However, we must remain objective. AMD is fighting giants, and giants fight back. First risk, competition. The filings explicitly warn about NVIDIA's dominance and aggressive pricing. NVIDIA has a software moat called CUDA that is incredibly hard to cross. Second risk, customer concentration. In 2024, a significant portion of revenue relied on a few massive cloud providers. If one of them decides to make their own chips, like Google's TPU or Amazon's Trainium, AMD loses a key buyer. But despite these risks, the verdict is clear. From 2020 to 2025, AMD pulled off the impossible. They defeated Intel in the data center and are the only company standing toe-to-toe with NVIDIA in AI. They are no longer the underdog. They are the essential alternative. Whether you are an investor or a tech enthusiast, one thing is certain. The chip war is far from over, and AMD is just getting started. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the chip wars, subscribe and let us know which tech giant we should decode next.